Okay, students. So, just this once, then Shirley Temple. If there was one thing that Jackson genuinely loathed, means hated about Evans, it was his long wavy hair and get shaving. So, actually, these are some things that are not liked by anybody, like his shaving, his filthy and dirty hat, like this. At 8:45 the same morning, the Reverend Stuart McLeary, means that parson, that invigilator, right? His name is Stuart McLeary, okay, left his bachelor flat in Board Street and stepped out briskly towards Carfax, and the weatherman reported temperatures considerably below the normal. Below the normal means it was chilly, means it was a bit cold weather for early June, and a long black overcoat and a shallow crowned clerical hat provided welcome protection from the steady drizzle. Actually, this is the appearance how this McLeary looked like. He was wearing an overcoat, a hat was there, right? Actually, drizzling means light rainfall was there. So, drizzling was there, which had set in half an hour earlier and which now spattered the thick lenses of his spectacles. Pattering is a sound, means whenever raindrops are striking against something. So, he was wearing his glasses, means these spectacles, goggles, right? So, spectacles he was wearing. So, on these glasses you also might have enjoyed it and experienced it personally. You are wearing something and rainfall is there. So, the same, right? In his right hand he was carrying a small brown suitcase which contained all that he would need for his morning duties, including a sealed question paper envelope, a yellow invigilation form, a special authentication. So, you may be asked, what was he carrying? So, he was carrying a suitcase, in a small suitcase in which some official papers, including question paper and stuff like that may require. So, that was there. Right, students? Authentication card from the examination board, like iCard, students, a paper knife, a Bible to cut the seal of the question paper, right? Paper knife, a Bible. He was to speak to the women's guild that afternoon. He was a church person, that's why he used to keep Bible also, okay, students, on the book of Ruth, and a current copy of the Church Times. The Church Times is the name of a newspaper, right? He thought he might get bored during the examination when Evans was busy with his exam. So, what he would do? So, he thought it and he kept it with him, this newspaper, so that he might go through it. The 2-hour examination was scheduled to start at 9:15 a.m. 2 hours duration was there, and it was supposed to start at 9:15, a 9:15, right? Evans was lathering his face vigorously, means when we are shaving, lather means form. Shaving cream was there in this way. He was in a hurry because he was told that very soon the exam was about to start. So, he was busy. When Stephen brought in 2 small square tables and set them opposite each other in the narrow space between the bunk on the one side and on the other a distempered stone wall, means this is the layout, how he and where he put these 2 tables, right? Next, Stephens brought in 2 hard chairs, the slightly less battered of which he placed in front of, means a kind of broken furniture, battered of which he placed in front of the table which stood near the cell door. Okay, in this way he made arrangements of furniture. Jackson put in a brief final appearance. Behave yourself, laddie, means lad, means chap, means Evans, right? So, Evans turned and nodded. In this way he shook his head. And these, Jackson pointed to the pin-ups of. Evans turned and nodded again. I was going to take them down anyway. Remove the buttons. So, he said, I was just going to take them down anyway. A minister, isn't he? Right? Means a minister is coming, just comment. right, means he is talking about the invigilator. The chap coming to sit in, I mean what, whosoever the invigilator, is he a minister or a special or grand person? He is coming to sit here. And how did you know that? Asked Jackson quietly. How do you know that he is a minister? How do you come to know? Well, I had to sign some forms, didn't I? And I couldn't help. So I came to know naturally. Evans drew the razor carefully down his left cheek and left a neat swath of the white leather. In this way, he was with the razor, this white form and shave is removed, and in this way, so whatever the stuff or foamy stuff comes out, that is known as swath, right? In the white leather. Can I ask you, he was shaving and he was speaking also. Can I ask you something, Mr. Jackson? Why did they have to bug me in this cell? Why are they required to keep me in this cell? He nodded his head vaguely, unclearly to a point above the door. Yes, why are you or why are all these people required to keep me in this cell? Right? Not a very neat job, conceded Jackson. He is saying, actually this job is not pleasant, keeping you in the cell and every time we have to keep watch over you. We also do not like this job. They are not. They don't honestly think I am going to try to. I think honestly they are afraid. They are apprehensive. Means they have a doubt that I may run away from this cell, isn't it? They are taking no chances, Evans. Nobody in his senses would take any chance with you. Actually, he wants the break, so nobody wants to take any chance, especially when it is your case. Who is going to listen in? He is asking. Any microphone or any spying phones are there? Who is going to listen? I will tell you who is going to listen in, lad. Laddie means chap. Is the governor himself, you know. This time governor himself is taking care of each and everything so that you may not get any chance to run away, Ivan. So there is no way, you cannot get away. He don't, actually student, this is he doesn't, but in German language, he don't trust you, means he doesn't trust you a bloody inch, means not even a single chance he wants to take because you are doubtful for him, you are suspected person, means he doesn't have any kind of trust on you, Evans, right? And no do I, and I also don't trust you, frankly speaking, okay? And I will be watching you like a hawk. Hawk is a bird, right? So I will be spying, I will be watching, I will be keeping a watchful eye on you, on each and every activity, on each and every movement you make. Even so, keep your nose clear. He walked towards the door. Evans nodded. He had already thought of that, and number 2 handkerchief was lying ready on the bunk. He said, clear your nose. So he had already think of each and everything. That's why it was chill weather. So that's why he had already kept his handkerchief, hanky, beside him on the bunk. A neatly folded square of white linen. This is hanky, white linen stuff. Just one more thing, Einstein. Einstein means sarcastically, he is using for Evans. Yes, Mr. Einstein, one more thing. Yes, what's that? Oh, good luck. Good luck, old son. In the little lodge, just inside the prison's main gates, the Reverend S. McCleary signed his name, means that invigilator had turned up at the entrance and some formalities were there. His name was written in at the entrance in the register. So McCleary signed his name neatly in the visitors book, and then means from there walked side by side with a silent prison officer across the exercise yard to D wing, means actually he was escorted. This invigilator was escorted to this Evans' cell, where he was greeted by Jackson. Jackson greeted him. The wing's heavy outer door was unlocked. Very heavy doors were there, and in this way those doors were unlocked and locked behind them, and as soon as invigilator was inside, once again from outside these doors were locked, so that Evans might have no chance to run away. Means actually they did not want to take any risk. The heavy inner door, the same, and McClear was handed into Stephen's keeping. Now these two people, means Evans and McClear, they both were the duties, they both were the responsibilities of Mr. Stephen, right? He was taking care of them, he was keeping his eyes, watchful eyes on them. Get the razor, murmured Jackson. He is clearing, he is ensuring whether razor was not there. Stephens nodded and he said, yes sir. Nodded in agreement, means he confirmed. Well, keep your eyes keen, means keep your watchful eyes on him. Be careful. Is that clear? Stephen nodded again, and McCleary, his feet clanging up the iron stairs, followed his new guide and finally stood before a cell door where Stephens opened the peephole and looked through. And in this way, some doors have got peephole. In this way, from through them they can have a look inside. This is known as peering, right? Oh, that's him, sir. I can see him very well. Evans facing the door. This is the position how they were made to sit, right? Evans facing the door sat quietly at the farther of the two tables, his whole attention riveted to a textbook of elementary German grammar. He was taking up his position and a book was there, and Stephens took the key from its ring and the cell lock sprang back with a thudded metallic twang. A kind of heavy metallic sound was there when the door was locked. Right, students? It was 9:10, means 10 minutes past 9 was there, and you know the paper was scheduled to start at 9:15. When the governor switched on the receiver, means microphone, he had instructed Jackson to tell Evans of the temporary little precaution. That was only fair, as if Evans would not spot it, but that was not known to Evans. That was only fair, right? But wasn't it all a bit theatrical, dramatical, as if some drama was going on? Schoolboyish almost. How on earth was Evans going to try anything on today? Means that after all these arrangements, strict arrangements, how was it possible for Evans to take even a single chance, or even he could not think of running away? Right? If he was so anxious to make another break, why in heaven's name hadn't he tried it from the recreational block? When he was in the recreational block in the beginning, why didn't he start? So since he has not started, he has not thought of running away since then. So why should he think of now only? Much easier. Earlier it was much easier for him to run away, but he didn't think of that. So I don't think he would be taking any kind of risk. But he hadn't, and there he was now, sitting in a locked cell. Look, he is sitting in a locked cell, all the prison officers on the alert, two more locked doors between his cell and the yard, and a yard with a wall as high as a haystack. Yes, Evans was as safe as houses, means everything was perfect and too much security, tight security was there, right? Anyway, it would not be any trouble at all to have the receiver turned on for the next couple of hours. So it wasn't as if there was going to be anything to listen to, was it? No sound was expected, as if there was going to be anything to listen to. Amongst other things, an invigilator's duty was to ensure that the strictest silence was observed, and it was their duty. Invigilator's duty was there to keep silence inside the cell also, because Evans was obviously so-called examination was going on. But still that little nagging doubt, but that objectionable person, anything he might think of. Might Evans try to take advantage of McCleary? He might think anything wrong. He might do anything wrong against McCleary, the invigilator, right? Get him to smuggle in a chisel or two or a rope, ladder or. Means he may do anything, he may keep anything harmful with him. Maybe it is a chisel, a kind of device, right, to break the stones, heavy stones, right, or maybe ladder, maybe rope. So he may take help of any of these things to run away. The governor sat up sharply. It was means he was watchful. It was all very well getting rid of any potential weapon that Evans could have used. Anything he could have used. But what about McCleary? But what about McCleary, the invigilator? What if quite unwittingly, means unwisely, the innocent McCleary had brought in something himself? Maybe coincidentally or by mistake he might have brought something, and Evans could have used that so called thing against this McCleary, like a jackknife perhaps. And what if Evans held him hostage with such a weapon? Means what if Evans used that jackknife against this McCleary, and he could have taken it as hostage, and he could have taken up this advantage to run away. Yes, suppose this is jackknife, and in this way this is McCleary and Evans from behind, he could have used this jackknife at the throat of McCleary, and everybody would not be taking any risks, and so Evans might have had a chance of running away like this. The governor reached for the phone. It was 9:12 a.m. now, 3 minutes to go. The examinee, students, two terms are there, examiner and examinee. Examinee are the students or candidates who are taking the exams, and examiner who is conducting, right. The examinee and the invigilator had already been introduced by Stephens when Jackson came back and shouted to McCleary through the cell door. Now what is he saying? Can you come outside a minute, sir? You too, Stephens. Stephen was inside. So Jackson from outside requested invigilator. Officially he made a request to the invigilator as well as Mr. Stephens to come out of the cell for a while. Jackson quickly explained the governor's worries, and McCleary patiently held out his arms at shoulder level. In this way, whilst Jackson lightly frizzed his clothes. Something hard here, sir? Actually, he was just checking McCleary. So in this way, so I think something is hard, sir. Jackson quickly reassured him, and bending down on the landing thumb flicked the catches on the suitcase. Means he was checking him. And he picked up each envelope in turn, and whatever the stuff he had brought in his suitcase, everything was checked thoroughly. Envelope in turn carefully passed his palms, means in this way, like this, okay, anything hard or anything was hidden inside these envelopes, right, and seemed satisfied. When he felt satisfied, he riffled curiously through a few pages of Holy Writ. That Holy Bible was there. In this way, like students, this book is there. In this way, suppose if anything is there like this, right. So he checked each and everything, then vaguely, unclearly shook the Church Times, means that newspaper also. In this way he just jerked it. All right, so far, but one of the objects in McCleary's suitcase was puzzling him sorely. One thing was confusing him over and again. What was that? Do you mind telling me why you have brought this, sir? He held up a smallish semi-inflated rubber ring, such as a young child with a waist of about 12 inches might have struggled into. You thinking of going for a swim, sir? Why have you kept it, sir, this rubber tube? So I am confused. Are you going to swim, or do you use it for swimming? But you have come here to conduct the exam, so why have you kept it? So this was the confusing point. McCleary's hitherto amiable demeanor amiable, friendly demeanor behavior was slightly ruffled by this tasteless little pleasantry. Pleasantry means joke like things. So, and he answered Jackson somewhat sorely in a different manner, not to be liked by anybody. If you must know, I suffer from hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids, and when I am sitting down for any length, means any long time, off time, means if I am supposed to sit anywhere for a long time, comparatively longer period, so I just keep it. Well, oh, sorry sir, I didn't mean to, sorry sir. The embarrassment was still reddening Jackson's cheeks when he found the paper knife at the bottom of the case. I think I would better keep this though. If you don't mind, sir, I can keep this knife, because you can understand, sir, we don't want to take any kind of risk. It was at 9:18. Actually, students, the paper was scheduled to start at 9:15, but it was already 9:18 before the governor heard their voices again, and it was clear that the examination was going to be more than a little late in getting underway. Means a little more time might be consumed while the exam starts, right? McCleary, you are going to watch? Even, yes sir. Okay, I'll be telling you when to start, okay, and again when you have 5 minutes left, all right, means when your paper is to start, I'll just make a gesture, and when your exam is going to be over, 5 minutes before that, I will just give you a hint, and accordingly you can finish it. Okay, is that clear? Everything is fine? McLean, there is plenty more of this writing paper. Should you need it, means if you need something else, something more, I have got everything for you. McCleary, now write the name of the paper 021-1 in the top left hand corner. These details are very important, students, so please look at them. Left hand corner, this is left hand corner, okay, silent. In the top right hand corner, this is top right hand corner. Suppose this is the answer copy, so on the cover page of the answer copy, top right corner, write your index number 313, and in the box just below that, here is one more box is there, and in that box just write your center number 271A, right? Is that clear? Now it was 9:20 a.m. I am now going to, he is not going to stay there, is he? Evans is thinking, he thought, he is saying, now I am going to, so Evans thought, I think he is not going to stay here, he is also going to leave. Okay, thank God. Oh, I don't know about that, Mr. Jackson has given me strict instructions too. How am I supposed to concentrate on my exam? Actually, Mr. McCleary, Mr. Sir, I am not able to concentrate on each and everything. Yes, with someone breathing down my neck. You are sitting here, and when I am doing my paper and you are breathing at the back of my neck, so I am not able to concentrate, sir. No, I don't like this. Right. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean. Actually, sir, please don't take me otherwise, but your presence like this disturbs me. The governor reached for the phone. Jackson, good, get Stephens out of that cell. Actually, that Stephens was also sitting over there. So when Jackson was also bending over Evans like this, and that McCleary was also sitting, so he was feeling, Evans was feeling quite uncomfortable, and said, sir, please, I am not able to concentrate. Then on the microphone, this governor tells Jackson, good, get Stephens out of that cell, will you? Means please tell Stephens to come out of the cell. I think we are perhaps overdoing this, means we are just overreacting. So let him concentrate. So please tell Stephens to come out. Right? As you wish. Okay, sir. As you say, the governor heard the exchanges in the cell, heard the door clang, a kind of sound when metallic doors are closed once more, and heard McCleary announce that the examination had begun at last, and he heard that the examination had at last started, means it was 9:25 a.m. and there was a great calm. Now when the examination starts, there was a pin of silence, right. At 9:40 a.m. the examination board rang through, and the assistant secretary with special responsibility for modern languages asked to speak to the governor. The examination had already started, no doubt, means he was just confirming whether the exam had started or not, right. A quarter of an hour ago, yes. Well, there was a correction slip which some fool had forgotten to place in the examination package. Very brief. Could the governor please? Means he just requested on the phone that there has been a mistake, and we just one of our staff members has forgotten to put the correction slip. There has been a correction in the question paper, so we just forgot to, sir, please, will you please connect me to the governor over there, right. So, yes, of course, I will put you straight through Mr. Jackson D. Wing. Hold the line a minute, and in this way he just said, hold on, sir, let me connect you. Was this the sort of thing the governor had feared? Was this the thing? Was it a trick? Was the phone call a fake, some signal, some secret message? But he could check on that immediately. So he decided to check it whether the call was fake or genuine. He dialed the number of the examination board, but heard only the staccato bleeps. Staccato bleep means when the call is engaged, we are not able to talk, we are not able to connect to the person, because he is found already talking to somebody else. So in this way, staccato bleeps, right. But then the line was engaged, wasn't it? Yes, not very intelligent that.